Hey, welcome to Bellin Consultancy. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how much money you can profit from a semi setup or a semi trucking setup per month. This is going to be a video based off the truck or the equipment that we have run for entire month without having too much delays in it. And by the way, this is not going to be a video. A lot of YouTubers come out here and you say, claim you can make $1 million in a year. It's not going to be anything related to that kind of fantasy, but everything is going to be realistic here. I'm going to put down all the miles that we have driven in this previous month, and I'm going to put down what was the profitability at the end after cutting all the expenses, including the driver and the fuel. Before we go into our numbers, like profiting X amount of money typically varies from carrier to carrier. Like it depends a lot on your fixed expenses, like, everybody's living their own life. How much insurance are you paying? How much is your truck note, trailer note? All those payments compound. And then what is the dollar per mile that you're getting? What are the areas of operations of fuel? Like what is the typical fuel price that you're paying? Because fuel varies a lot in the States as well. Like the tolls and all those things that could come into play. So, but we're gonna get into the details of all those, and we're gonna see what is the typical number that you can get from a semi setup, having average expenses as everyone. So let's just get into the gross. So we grossed about $28,500 in a month that we drove about 8,380 miles, and which turned out to be somewhere close to $3.34, $3.35 per mile, somewhere around that 3.4 bucks a mile, typical rate that we can get. But this is a flatbed setup, like it's a 53-foot flatbed. So rate per mile tends to be good for flatbed in specific areas that we talk about. And the market is just doing so well after all those fuel crises that we've been seeing amid the war. So we drove about 8,380 miles, and our fuel price was $6,300. That was, roughly priced at $4.60 per gallon. That was our average price that we got, through the States. And then we paid our driver about $5,477. So we typically pay our drivers based on cents per mile. This is, I believe, 65 cents per mile to the driver, or 60. But yeah, you can calculate based on our miles. So we used to pay our drivers percentage because we started this trucking company in 2023. So that time the market was not so good. So we're like, okay, yeah, let's just pay the drivers based on percentage, based on whatever money we make. So we don't pay any extra amount based on cents per mile, because the drivers tend to be very expensive in terms of cents per mile. Sometimes 65, sometimes exceeding 70 cents per mile, especially for flatbed. So you end up paying the drivers a lot more money than you actually make, because a dollar per mile was just crappy. Then we have the maintenance cost is about $2,206. So this was, I believe this was the only breakdown that we had in this month. It was water pump that malfunctioned. So the part was roughly about $700-800, but it was a labor that cost a lot of money. The truck payment was $1,530. Well, this is a typical truck payment that you're going to have when you're financing your equipment. So it roughly varies, for older trucks, it's like roughly about somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500. And if you have newer trucks, brand new trucks, you probably be talking about $3,000 to $4,000 a month for the truck notes. But this is our $1,530. Then we have insurance at $1,450. Then we have the trailer payment, $1,200. So this is a brand new trailer that we're renting from a company. So it comes with this cost. The good thing about this trailer is, because definitely it's a brand new, so the good thing about this is almost maintenance free. So we don't have to worry about having a flat tire because if it's tread, worn down a lot, or, having some typical issues with its brake system or ABS or whatever. Tolls are about $650. Now, it could be a little less of the tolls per month because of the fact that a lot of truckers tend to pay roughly around $1,000. Now, that is the case when you drive more into the Northeast areas, like specifically Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. Like you pay a ton amount of tolls in those areas. But in our case, since we operate mostly in South, so the tolls tend to be a lot less than what you can typically be paying in up in the northeast areas. Then the DAT load board cost comes out to be $50. The ELD, that is $100 a month. The dispatch fee is $1,425. So this is our typical like operating cost. The profit that we get is $8,212 after all this cost. Now remember, it could be less for you, it could be more for you. I mean, this is not consistent. Like, trucking in itself is not a consistent business. You can have breakdowns, you can have delays, you can have driver go home for a week, you can have plenty of the problems. In order for your business to work, I mean, there are like 5 to 6 circumstances, and all of them need to be in accord. All of them need to be like in a perfect order for you to make consistent money. So this was our lucky month, or our most consistent month, but we're going to be sharing some of those numbers in the upcoming months as well, like how much did we profit out of van, how much did we profit out of reefer. But the key to keep making money in trucking is just to keep moving. That means if you have a breakdown, just try to figure that out as soon as possible. If you have loads, if you have bad loads, let's say you're hauling a bad load, it's not very profitable, just try to get rid of that load as soon as possible. Do not delay anything. But yeah, keep going at the end of the day, and make sure you fix a potential problem before it turns into something progressive damage. So just identify your problems, identify your maintenance problems, what could be your upcoming cost, and work on it before the time comes up and you're in the middle of the road waiting for the tow truck to come out, an unexpected price that you're going to have to pay out of desperation to the mechanic and everyone. But I'll see you in the next video. If you have any questions regarding anything related to the trucking, feel free to contact us. You can also visit our website where we have our old courses lined up, where you can learn pretty much everything about the trucking from beginning to the end, how you can start a trucking company, how you can progress it, and ultimately how you can turn it into profitability. Now, a lot of the people, they lose a lot of money in the beginning because of a few mistakes, minor mistakes that they make. We're going to teach you how to avoid every single mistake from the beginning, so you can save money and you can use that money to expand your business or just be a little more comfortable growing this business. I'll see you in the next video.